Tony, as I sit here looking at you, I can't help but think that had I been the director, had I been Robert Mulligan, looking at you to play the role of Tommy, a 45-year-old man who has a 19-year-old son, I'd say, oh, well, you know, he's a terrific actor, but he isn't old enough. Did you do anything special to make yourself look older for this role?
Oh, well, I did, but thank God that you're sitting here interviewing me and you're not the director. Because Robert Mulligan knows me as an actor and knows that an actor can be whatever, this actor can be whatever the character calls for, as far as age is concerned and so on. Yes, I did do something. I grew a mustache, I curled my hair, and in mannerisms and changing, finding the character and becoming that age. You know, there's many things that an actor does to do those things, and I could spend a whole interview talking about the creating of a character, but you do change and become that human being.
I wonder, though, in Fist, you were much older than 45. Was that even easier than trying to be, you know, just some older than you are, but yet not being aged?
Well, in the picture we do, Fist we're talking about, we do age, because I start out, I think, as 38 years old, and then we jump 20 years in time, and it's the same person aging. And I did an interesting thing in there. I used one would think, I used a mustache in the early part when he was young, and when I got older, I cut it off, which is the absolute opposite that people would do. And but the character, in trying to be younger, would cut it off, you see, and so on. And so you do it in a different way. You do it with the graying, you do it with the things around the eyes, and many other mannerisms and weight and all kinds of different things. I don't know if it's easier. I guess it is to do an extreme thing, but this wasn't even extreme either. Fist wasn't so extreme age, but we do different things, yeah.
Why was Fist not more successful at the box office, do you think?
I don't really know. I would think that after the success of Rocky, that the people, half the people would come and see to see him again in this picture, and they didn't. I don't know. I have no idea.
You think it was a turn-off because people just don't care about the labor movement and the history of some labor leader?
Gee, I find that hard to believe. People have said that, but here we are talking about a character that we know, Jimmy Hoffa, and unions. Almost everybody belongs to a union. And I should think that people would be interested in that, especially this Teamsters union that moves in these quote romantic circles with the underworld and so on, and the origins of it, and the power, and it seemed to be after all the ingredients to make a successful motion picture, but it didn't. It didn't. Also, I understand it did very well in Toronto, but. Didn't do so well in America.
Tony, getting back to the film we should be talking about, you have in this film a scene that is so terrifying where you beat up on your wife. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it is just so believable. There is nothing about it looks staged. It looks so spontaneous, and it's so terrifying. Was that a difficult scene for you to play?
I don't know. I don't think so. For me, because I'm a very athletic person and I do my own stunts, and I know about fighting, having been in the Golden Gloves when I was a kid, and I'm sort of a physical guy anyway. She was terrified, of course, but she had never done anything like that before, and so I just got her to relax and follow me and go by the numbers. And throughout this fight, she never received as much as a bruise. And in every take, and it just comes from rehearsal and confidence and relaxation and timing, and it worked out, you know. And it looks pretty rough, and it looks like I'm really hitting her, and I never even got near her, you know.
There was no body contact at all throughout the whole thing?
No. I mean, sure, when I grab her arm or like that, but not as far as hitting. Not as far as hitting. Each slap in the face is placed strategically in the right spot so it looks like you're really getting hit, and including a punch here and there, and what have you. So.
Tony, it is the story of a young man trying to find himself, and here's a father who wants him to follow his profession. He's an electrician, a hard hat. And here's a young man who's very sensitive, wants to work with children. Was there anything about that situation that you could relate to in your own life with your own parents?
Well, not necessarily, and yes, I would say, because in both cases my parents were always for me, and doing whatever I wanted to do was great. And when I chose to be an actor, which is so foreign to their life, and nobody in my whole family way back was never in the theater, they were totally supportive of me and anything I wanted to do. And also my parents are just full of love, but I do come from a background of not like the DeCoco family by my stretch of imagination. Some people might want to lump it all together, but it's not so. I have great knowledge of these people.
Because of your own Italian ancestry.
Yes, yes, and other people, other families that I know, and stories that I've heard. I would say my mother and father's stories about their mothers and fathers have helped me tremendously in performing the DeCoco role. That's closer to the truth. My parents are absolute angels. But from the stories of their mothers and fathers are quite brutal, and of course that's a whole other generation that are really dying off, or have just about died off now, and we'll probably never see the like of that again. And it's somewhat sad because of that strong family feeling and unit that was there, and I think we'll miss a great deal of that, especially when the grandparents no longer are able to tell stories to the grandchildren, which I found tremendously helpful to me, that my mother and father would tell me about their romantic and violent and gusty lifestyle that they lived under. That's going to be gone, and we're going to have to report about a lot of plastic and tall buildings and modern nonsense, and I'm going to miss that, and I think the future will miss that very much. I'd much rather hear about human behavior and human emotion and passion than about some cold calculation that someone could use their mind about, and so on. I think that dehumanizes us.
Tony, do you see any Academy nominations from this film?
You make a fella blush. I don't know. I think the film is loaded with well, I think it's loaded with it. As a matter of fact, if you want to know, I think Robert Mulligan, the director, is an Academy Award. Robert Surtees, the lighting designer, the music, Elmer Bernstein. I think each one of them are, and the acting in it, that is the best acting that I think I have seen in ages in a motion picture, especially by everybody. The whole picture is loaded with wonderful acting, and I think that's what really makes the picture. That the ensemble play in a motion picture, which is very difficult to achieve. You can possibly get it in the stage, because you're there, everybody's there, but in a motion picture, bits and pieces, and to get a unit like that, and to find that kind of acting in a motion picture is a very rare thing, and I think you really see it in this picture.
Well, Tony, when it comes Oscar time, I'll bet, my money is that we're going to see at least several nominations for Bloodbrothers. Thanks, Tony, very much for talking with us today.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.